Good.
Good day, morning, or whatever day of time you have. It's
Happy local time.
Yeah, it's March 16th, 2022. It's a weekly SIG Node CI meeting. And let's get into the agenda. We have a couple topics in agenda today. Imran, you go first. Oh, he's here.
Yeah, do we have him run today? Doesn't look like it.
Oh, okay. So Imran just added this item to agenda. I think the plan was to move log contention flags to config file instead of command line parameters.
Well, aren't all the tests failing? We have to get the test passing first.
No, they're passing now.
No, not like pre-submit jobs. The test script jobs for it. Are they passing now?
I think they got fixed. The problem was that test was verifying that Kubernetes will restart after it was down because of the log contention. And indeed, the test, the problem is that something went wrong with the image, and the image wouldn't restart the kubelet automatically. So we just removed the kubelet check for kubelet being restarted from the test. I think it will need to be back when we'll return everything together. So especially when we switch to config file and we'll start changing config file during the test and changing it back after the test, then we'll need to make sure that kubelet will restart. But for now, it's good. So yeah, test is green. Log contention functionality works. Restart of kubelet, which is system, like even systemd or something. Not systemd, like system settings that may not work. System control. Yeah, so this is, this is just product PR mostly. Moving it to config file. But it doesn't have much test here.
Yeah, I can take a look. This one is an API review, so feel free to assign it to me.
Should request it route. Yeah, it's already triaged. Okay, this is done. And I think once this will be merged, the next step will be to change the log contention test to use config file and move it into all the serial lane. So we don't need to run it as a parallel lane just for this test. Arnaud, next.
Morning or afternoon and evening for everyone. So my subject is quite simple. We are working on migrate kgcr.io to bgc.gates.io. So the story of this endpoint is kgcr.io is still owned by Google, and basically in the next few years this need to be owned by the community. So we already set up the new endpoint, but we need to basically make sure everything is working right now for every SIG. I noticed this is hard code in the Kubernetes code base, so I'm trying to see how I can test the change of the default sandbox image. If it's not possible, we will just basically do the flip once we are ready.
I think any test that you run will basically, any end-to-end test will be okay. One question would be if this image will match the image that containerd uses. It's not a big problem, but yeah, the worst case scenario, some garbage collector logic will kick off and remove the wrong image. So
Yeah,
should
we've
be
seen
okay.
that reported before where the garbage collector was removing the wrong image due to a mismatch. So this can be overridden, I believe, with a flag.
Yeah. Is there a PR for the change?
Not yet, because I didn't have time to I was basically investigating if there's basically a flag somewhere that can make that change possible, but I have a pull request ready for that right now. I will open something probably today or tomorrow.
Yeah. So answering your question, any end-to-end test will suffice.
Okay.
Most of them testing that the pod will be started. So it should be fine. The mismatch is can be caught on pull request review. So you may need to double check that runtimes are configured with the proper image as well. I don't know, has Cryo got rid of pose image already? Ilana, do you know?
I do not. Do we have either? We've got Ryan on the call. Ryan, do you know?
Don't.
I remember there will work to do that. At least it was discussed. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Arnold, for bringing it up. Is there any changes related to that with how we release test images, for instance?
No, because the test image don't change. This is basically, for the moment, this is a new proxy in front of get.gcr.io. So for the moment, it's not impacting the test images. This is only for the image promote from the staging repository, and the old one migrate from the domain flip we did 2 years ago.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay. Any questions or not? Do you pronounce it correct or not? Do I pronounce your name correctly?
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. I was thinking to somewhere else.
Sorry. Okay. Thank you. So yeah, let's get to triage then.
No more agenda items, right?
No more agenda items.
Cool. Before
by
we
the way,
jump into triage, I just wanted to say hi. We have a couple of new names, at least to me, on the call. Tyler, Mina, do you want to say hi, introduce yourselves to the group?
Sure.
Hey, Mina.
Hi.
There we go.
Yeah, hi. So I'm Mina. I work for cost and container optimized OS team. So I'm just joining these meetings so that if there is anything that any feature that we need to develop for Kubernetes.
Cool. As you can see, we're mostly discussing the state of test and continuous integration, or CI, infrastructure for SIG Node. So stuff pertaining to the kubelet and other node related matters. And I think I may have seen you in the yesterday we had the full node meeting, which is not limited like this group to sort of the CI bugs and triage bits.
Sure. So do you think this meeting would be helpful for me?
I'm not sure. Do you want to contribute to helping out with node tests? It's a really great place to get started if you're interested in working on node things.
Sure. I'll just attend a couple of meetings and see whether if it is, help benefit us.
Awesome. Well, welcome. Tyler, did you want to say hi?
Yeah. So I'm a new engineer that joined Google, I don't know, a couple months ago. I'm on Sergey and Mike's team. So yeah, this week I helped with triaging test failures. So I'll probably start coming to this more regularly. But hey, everyone.
Very cool. Welcome.
Yeah, and I also wanted to say, ask everybody, do we want to start tracking attendance and put our names in the meeting? I think we had some. We had this blog post published with mentioning names, and we wasn't sure whether we mentioned everybody who wanted to be mentioned and who visiting this meeting regularly. So if you, what do you think about idea to track names again?
Yeah, we used to take attendance, and I don't know why we stopped. Maybe because we just forgot. So I certainly have no objections.
Okay, because it's not as attended as main SIG Node meeting, where it doesn't make sense to have so many names listed. So yeah, just open the document with agenda and put your name, if you will.
We might also just do the thing where we screenshot the attendee list. That might be easier. Happy to do that. Anyways, why don't we kick off triage, Sergey? I'll take care of that.
Thank you. So let's look at table first, and then so Tyler help with table. We have no changes on critical test, and we removed critical, right? Did we? Wasn't it?
Yes, the tab should be gone now. Or at least I submitted a PR to remove it. There were like 2 jobs that were both on other tabs. Okay, it's apparently still there. I submitted the PR, so somebody should.
I remember that.
Because there's nothing there.
Okay. Yeah, we need to double check why it's still here. But yeah, apparently it's still there and still green, so good. It's green. So eviction. What was it? Well, performance is still active. I cannot remember what we did anything for performance. So I know we fixed local contention. Performance. Yeah, still failing. Okay. Wonder if the issue assigned to somebody specifically. Okay. Daniela. No, it's the wrong item. I think we had one for performance specifically. Did you lose it? Okay, I think we still have a problem. So let's mention the right item. I think this is a correct issue. And it's not assigned to anybody. Okay, let's move to triage and discuss it when we will get into triage. But yeah, and eviction is still not being looked at. I know it got rotten and refreshed back into alive. So, and it's failing for very long time. It started 1.5 at least. So yeah, let's try to find somebody to,
Yeah, I know that they were on Danielle's backlog, but I don't know if they are completely fixed yet. I know that she had at least one PR up, I think, for them.
I know Danielle want to redesign some of it, but redesign may take longer. So maybe there is a quick fix possible. Ideally, we need to find somebody. Let's maybe discuss it. Where's this issue? It's sent to Danielle. Okay. Is anybody on the call wants to take a look? Going to find out offline somebody. Okay. I'll try to find offline. Maybe somebody can help with that. Current updates. Course. I think somebody started looking at that, but I don't think there is a progress. NPD, we had we removed a couple, like one job at least, because image didn't have Ginkgo of proper version or something like that. So job was removed, and for push image there is a fix in the works, but it wasn't merged because of this test was failing. So hopefully it will be green next time. Green for now. Yeah, work is happening here, and this is green. Cool. Any questions about this test grid, about the state of things? Let's move forward then. So this is a,
So
yeah.
I just had one question. When I was going through and doing the triage, I noticed that the the right click and file bug button on our test grid points to the global Kubernetes project. Is that, I don't know, should some of the tabs point to different repos, or is the Kubernetes project
That's a great
the best
question.
place for that?
Most of the tests that we're going to be looking at for the purposes of this meeting are all based on code that's being tested in Kubernetes. So Kubernetes or KK is the correct repo to file bugs against. Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't really unfortunately, this view doesn't really give a lot of information for filing them. I prefer to use the automated Sergey, can you go to the triage thingy? I don't know if it's working, since I feel like it frequently falls over, but if you go to that triage link, you can use this to triage various test failures and use that to sort of see where flakes started and that kind of thing. And if you click on the file bug for that test down there, Sergey, perhaps, you get a lot more information auto filled. So I like using that UI for this.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Because it links you to a bunch of example failures and a bunch of other info automatically, which is really handy.
Yeah, this test grid integration. I know that workgroup reliability wanted to do something about it, but I don't think they actually did. And I don't. Is this bug will be associated with a failure going forward?
I'm not sure.
I don't think so.
I know that there's been some talk about raising the reliability bar, which I continue to see come up at community meetings and whatnot. But what action people are taking there is not particularly clear. So yeah, tooling is definitely a big part of reliability, raising the reliability bar. Filling out this spreadsheet is not ideal, but at least it gives you historical view. I really enjoy this going back functionality. Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you, Tyler, for bringing it up. Okay, we have a few items to triage today. Oh, here it is, something failing. One.
lots of things to triage. Well, I think a lot of these are not relevant.
Yeah, I think we'll triage them out really quickly, but let's take a look at nevertheless. Okay. Or just feedback on the it's fine. I need to triage it. Anybody wants to take a look?
Oh, well, it looks like it's failing CI. Yeah, not that one, but the required job.
Yeah, it's been flaky for some time. Yeah, it's flaky.
Really?
It's not flakiness. You just need to trigger a retest. I think it's a test grade dashboard missing.
Yeah. I can take a look at this one.
Yeah, you just need to just trigger the test and it should be fine.
Joanna, and we'll move to in progress. Okay, this.
See, I did do it.
Yeah, yeah, I remember that. I even approved it. We still need SIG owner, SIG release to approve, and now it has a conflict. So
okay, I'll rebase it.
It's not author, but it will be soon fixed. Okay, this is not related to the SIG. We'll move to archive. It's not related to our group. Let me pink. Because it's not related to CI signal. This is testing, but it's do not merge ignore. So waiting on author. Yeah, I don't think it's related to our group. Pod default testing. Thanks, CPI machinery related. Lana, any suggestions?
I do not have suggestions.
Okay. Yeah, I don't see any. Oh, core one. Okay, let's keep it for SIG Node main group. It's a product. So. Okay, this is related to our group. Let's assign to that, and let me triage it. So there is a possibility that you merge this cap into this release. I think it's a little bit late with the soft freeze, but if it will go smooth, I don't see a reason to block it. Put it into yeah, not really talk. Yeah, it's a little bit related to us, not like fully related. I can self-assign. We cannot approve it, but it's still a little bit related to what we're doing. It's promoting some of Windows tests as conformance because Containerd now is supported, and they have they support host process, like what is it, privilege spots. So there's improvement there. Okay. Same. Just signed. Another end-to-end test credential provider.
Yeah, I think this is so we can graduate it.
Yeah, but we just reviewed one from Andrew, I think. In their case, I will take a look.
It looks like he was also reviewing it too, so
Yeah, they clearly talking. Just deprecation warning. It's not related to our group. Promotion field is not related to CI. Missing tests. Okay, this is quite straightforward. Any takers?
I can take it.
What's your GitHub handle?
T stapler. Yeah,
Thank you.
not a lot of staplers in the world, apparently.
Okay, this is what David mentioned on yesterday on a SIG Node call. New serial job for new cluster serial job. Okay. So, okay. The more pre-submits, the merrier. The more working pre-submits, the merrier. I know we still yet to remove a bunch of Docker Shim pre-submits, and on one of the pre-submits, Windows team was not happy with removing it. I'm not sure why.
didn't Matthias remove like all the Docker pre-submits, or were those
Yes,
just for Node?
They complained on one of my PR, yes.
Oh, they complained. But
Do you
Docker's
know-
gone. We
Did you
don't
figure
support
out?
it.
Did you figure out why? Do they want to run pre-submits on the release, all the release branches?
Yes, I think they decided to move it to the 23 file.
Okay.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, we still need pre-submits for the old releases. That is true. Like, but I think that the pre-submit jobs, most of them aren't set up to run on anything other than master anyways. So it's kind of moot.
Okay, so this is pod overhead made to conformance. If anybody wants to LGTM, I would be really appreciated.
If it's becoming conformance, doesn't it need to like, there's some file that gets updated which pulls in the conformance approvers. I'm
Yeah.
surprised that this
So-
is saying it's approved.
Yeah, there is a first step is to create a test and run it for 2 weeks, and then it will move to
the test is
performance.
not created yet.
It's
Okay.
a new test. Yeah, I
I
mean,
see.
you had a test that is not under the cluster, so node test cannot be made conformance. So I needed to create a cluster test that will test pot overhead API, and so this first one is to create it, and then second one will be to conform, like move to conformance after it's running successfully. But thank you for asking. Do you want to take a quick look? Anybody else?
Yeah, if you assign it to me, I can look.
Straightforward. Hopefully you wouldn't have problems with that. And then new placement. $54 files. Doesn't look like test only change. So yeah, I would leave it to main triage to go deeper and just archive it from now. From test grid. And this one that I discussed for performance tab. It's likely some configuration issue on performance tests. Is there anybody who wants to take a look? Still failing. Going once. Okay. I may keep it in untriaged. I mean, no, we need to triage it. We need to. And if this test is failing for so long, we may need to review whether we really need to run this test. I wonder what the history. Okay. Okay, thank you. I think we reviewed everything. And we have 20 minutes for bug triage. So at this stage, okay, thank you for backpacing. Oh yeah, wait, perf dashboard. Perf dashboard first, and then we go to bug triage. Wow, something happened.
What happened there?
Is it? It's a
What's the time scale on the x-axis?
Yeah, it's hard to see. It's like on the scale of months.
Okay.
You have to click on the jobs. Like I think you can kind of see on the x-axis, it does have dates, but if you click on the jobs, they'll say when they ran.
So when you this 150 is Unix timestamp. So if you can,
oh, is it?
Okay, yeah.
I was gonna say you can click on the job runs, and each run it's once per day. So every dot there is a day. So that gives you kind of an idea of the scale.
Sometime like a week ago, something happened, and
it looks like the variability is much higher because the P50 is lower, but the P90 and the P99, or is it 95 and 99? They're much higher. Yeah, 9. It looks like P100, P90, 99. Yeah. Okay.
what about memory? Memory dropped down. What happened?
Something landed. That's like a 30% or more improvement on the P50.
So memory dropped, but CPU increased.
I mean, that's pretty normal. And I know that we are looking at some optimizations right now for CPU, but like at the expense of memory and caching. So yeah, it's often a
It will
trade-off.
help with that for sure. To to bring it back, right? Okay, I think we need to file a bug to investigate. Let me quickly look at runtime. Runtime memory dropped just a little bit, not significantly, mostly P50. Something weird happening with CPU as well. You see, P90 went down for sure. Okay. It's very strange since both kubelet and runtime went down. Maybe some environmental problem, infrastructure problem. But yeah, let me file a bug to investigate. Okay, it's done. Now test part of the meeting is done. We move to the bugs triage. If you're interested to stay, please stay. Okay, we have 14 bugs to triage today. And we have 18 minutes. One minute per bug. In 4 minutes.
Cool. That's a lot of bugs.
Yeah.
This sounds like a doc thing and also SIG network. I don't think it's a bug.
It's enough commands. Let's remove from the board.
There you go. That couldn't have been more than 15 seconds.
Bot takes longer. Yeah, I hope it will react. Okay, let's go next. Okay, so this is follow-up from this out of memory. I think we just need to triage it. I will put your important soon because it's regression that we need to address. What else? Yes, he's working on that. Bot is awfully slow today. So Okay, inode quote again. You moved it to bug, but I think it's a feature request to limit inodes.
Well, maybe. I mean, I think that creating, nested deep directory trees or whatever, that shouldn't cause instability. Like the kubelet, if it's doing normal kubelet operations, should remain stable. That's why I think this is more of a bug than a feature. Like maybe it needs a feature proposal to address it, but we've had bugs before where that was the case.
Okay, I'm not sure. I know there are two bugs. One bug is related to CAdvisor taking too much time to traverse all those directories. And another is inode noisy neighbor. So you can exhaust all the file descriptors and like inodes, and nobody can stop you. Do you know which one is that?
I didn't read this in depth. I mean, a deep directory tree isn't necessarily going to exhaust inodes or cause a noise neighbor issue. I mean, definitely there is it might take too long, but I don't think it's just merely in CAdvisor. I think it's also in the container runtimes.
It may not be even CAdvisor issue. Just regular.
Yeah, I don't think it's a CAdvisor issue.
Okay.
Like, I would say that if the killer is triggered because of the behavior of kubelet when trying to remove a deeply nested directory, that is a bug. That shouldn't happen.
There are clear, okay, demo.
Like an obvious easy way for something like this would be to bound or validate like the depth of directories that are possible to make here. So you can't like denial of service attack the kubelet in this way. Because I think that this could be like, I don't know. I think of it more as a bug. Like maybe the way that we fix it is like needs a feature proposal, but this strikes me as a bug.
There is a open Golang issue similar to this. I'll paste it to you in Slack.
There was something in the description about like os.remove all or something like that.
Interesting. Okay. We're taking a little bit too long time here.
Yeah, it was filed by the same person, so.
What is it? You can mention yourself, okay? Okay, let's triage accepted. And I think it has enough information with demo, so I don't think we need to need information for now. State is still ready running. Okay, it's not SIG Node any longer.
Yeah, and it's also expected behavior. So we can probably just like close it.
Yeah, I wonder if it needs to be converted into documentation issue. This question comes up quite often. Can I be a label after live migration?
That sounds like a storage thing. They specifically reference CSI client.node get info. I think this is storage. Maybe remove sig node.
Documentation.
Seems reasonable.
I can't triage it on the website. I don't want to do it on the website. Actually, yeah, that's fine. It's just not triaged. Time shifting cost kubelet failed to create container. Okay, I remember reading about it.
This is not supported. Why would they time shift their kubelet?
Isn't it the issue of node adjusting its own clock? Or what time shift is mean?
There's no way this is supported. I will not entertain the idea that if you change the time on your kubelet back 2 days, it should work.
Two days is too much. Same issue here. Yeah, 1 hour is more reasonable. I can see how clock skew can happen for 1 hour. Not in a data center, but
Well, but I mean, yeah, I don't know. This just seems not supported. I feel like the kubelet having a hard like dependency on like time being set accurately, like chrony-D or whatever, NTP being set correctly. Like, as far as I'm aware, that's like generally an agreed upon requirement for nodes.
So
Actually, it would shift backwards, but forwards it would if you use a Raspberry Pi, which has no battery inside. You know, it saves the time when it shuts down, and when it finally gets the network again, it shifts, but forward, not backward. So
yeah, but in this case, they're talking.
I agree with you.
Backwards.
There is no use case for going backward in time.
I feel like if your BIOS battery's like dying and your machine restarts, it could, you know, set you up in September of the year, like before, or set you back a couple of months. But like, I guess what's the failure mode here? Does it just?
Well, they're just saying that the node won't create containers after it's already been like. I don't know. It's unclear in this case if a reboot was involved or if they just went and like set the time back.
Yeah.
If a reboot's involved, I would say take the node down for maintenance, make sure it has a reasonable, accurate time on it. If they are asking, like, can I just set the time back on my node? No, that's not supported. But in any case, I don't think it makes sense to entertain trying to support this use case. Like, they are doing things that are breaking the way that kubelet tracks things. Linear time has to move forward.
Yeah, I think they're proposing solution for this specific issue is sorting. There's a PR. Oh, second PR closed. I remember it. Oh, okay. One PR here. So there is a PR that okay, yeah, I have to have a bug open at least. Yeah, I tend to agree that correct time should be a requirement. I just wonder if 1 minute skew is enough to trigger this issue or not enough to trigger this issue. So if 1 minute is enough to trigger this issue, then it's probably needs to be addressed in kubelet. Because I can see how close you can happen and clock will change to 1 minute back.
The other thing that concerns me a little bit is that, like, I don't think they've reproduced this on a recent version of Kubernetes. The PR that you just opened, which was rebased, the person who tested it said they tested it against 120, which isn't a supported branch. If they can't, like, I would want to see them reproduce this after the pod lifecycle refactor at the very minimum, because maybe things changed since then.
Okay, let's put it needs information and and we'll tell that I think this is reasonable. And yeah, the test that PR that I mentioned didn't have any test, confirms that it was failing before. So I have a hard time accepting it. This information. Okay, we have 1 minute left, and I don't think we will have time to review any more bugs. I think we did a great job of going in depth of a couple of bugs. Any last minute notes, suggestions?
Sounds good.
Okay. Have a good day, everybody. Bye.
Nice to see everyone. Bye.
See ya.
Goodbye.